You can see my screen, I think.
Yes, it is visible, sir.
Thank you. And we are very much thankful to Dr. Vishal Khasgiwala. He has completed MBA, MCA, B.Sc, Computer Science, and Ph.D. and presently Dean of Faculty of Business and Commerce in Atmiya University, Rajkot, India. And we are very much thankful to him to be present here and give us highlight about how to write case studies. So there is publications. We have different types of articles we are writing, and many times we are sending to journals, it not accepted, and etc. But we must know there is a case study, which is one time usually we do. Case study cannot be repeated. So that one we have to learn how effective case study can be prepared and how we can proceed with the case study preparation. So I just introduced Dr. Vishal. Dr. Vishal Khasgiwala is working as Dean, as I mentioned. He previously worked as editor of CEO of POOJARA Telecom PVT Limited. And here last assignment was Dean of Associate Professor, School of Retailing, Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, Indore. He did his PhD in management, post-graduation in management, MBA-Marketing, computer science, master of computer applications, and graduations in Bachelor of Computer Science. He has more than 23 years experience, 19 years he has spent in academics and remaining in industry. He is doing consultancy assignment in Dharkan Enterprise, Rajkot, currently working also as an editorial board member of our journal, International Journal of Recent Trends and Business and Tourism from the Lincoln University College. He was invited earlier as well in different FDP and conferences and worked in our university as well as in Singapore and other places, other countries, so Indonesia, etc. So it is not that he is a new face to all of us, and he has awarded a Torchbearer Award by Educators Award, the open page in the presence of Honorary Governor of Gujarat for his significant contribution in the management of education. There are more than 29 international national research papers and 7 case studies publications in his credit. He did long faculty development programs from IIM Indore. He is a prolific writer and written various books on management information system, digital electronics, product and brand management, IT fundamental and PC software.
Oh,
He is
Sepima. Sepima.
Kindly mute, madam.
Oh, ada berapa orang?
So he is appointed as reviewer of Journal of US-China Public Administration, David Publishing Company, New York, USA. His research paper has been selected in ICEEE 2016 International Conference of Economic Education and Entrepreneurship, Indonesia. So without wasting further time, I want to hand over the microphone to and welcome Dr. Vishal Khasgiwala. The floor is yours, sir. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. I hope my voice is properly audible.
Morning, doctor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Just would like to share the screen. I hope it is visible now. Hello.
No, sir.
No, sir. Not yet. Not yet, sir.
Yeah, now it is visible. Hello.
No, sir. No, sir. Not yet.
No, एक minute, just hold on.
Not yet. Not yet.
Sir, I have put the share content and then I just click the PPT. So the screen. Okay, sorry, screen. I have to.
Yes.
Select.
And now okay. Yes. Now screen. Yes. Now see.
Now it is visible, sir.
Yes. Yes. Now make PPT presentation.
Can see.
Yes. Fine.
So good morning to all participants. Before going to start, I am very much thankful to Dr. Atmiya Bhomik, President, Lincoln University College, Dr. Sandeep Poddar sir, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovations, our own President, Tyakulak Swamiji, who has guided and provided a platform to interact with the eminent people and participants like you. So, my topic of today discussion is how to write case study, step-by-step methods. Before going to start, I would like to ask one simple questions to everyone. Which is the best or most important case study of universe? Anyone would like to share it? You can also unmute yourself when you are sharing it. Sir, if I have to see the chat box also, so what is the process? Because I'm only able to see the screen.
Chat box is there.
Actually, it is because I have made a full screen, so it is now. Okay, now it is available. But my PPT is not showing. Okay.
I have to share screen.
Okay. My question is like, just hold on. I just put in PPT in mode. Anyone would like to give the answer? Which is the most important case study of the universe? One answer response I received is own child. Thank you. And anyone more would like to share which is the most important case study of the universe or in the world? It is an interactive session, as Dr. Sandeep sir already told to all participants. It's an interactive. We can learn together. So waiting for the response. Climate change. Thank you. Waiting for one more response. If anyone would like to share it. Okay, no problem. If I'm sharing the slide.
Your own life.
Very good. Who has given this answer? Can I know his name? Thank you very much.
Life cycle, I think.
Perfectly right answer. Perfectly right answer. Now screen is visible. PPT is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So the
Yes.
who am I? Who am I? This is the most important case study of the universe. We have life. We spend a life for 65 years, 70 years, 75 years. Many of them does not know what is the purpose of the life. We spend our whole life, but in the end, still we don't know what we really want to do. What is the purpose of our life? What is the vision of life? What actually I want to do in my life? These are the certain questions are there. We are looking the answer of such questions, but few of them able to identify the answer of such questions. So I just want to suggest, if you want to understand yourself, you have to perform the spoke of your own. Again, I repeating the statement. You have to perform the spoke of your own. That is strength. What is your strength? What is your like we can term as a weakness, but I can't want to say weakness. Area of improvement. What kind of opportunities available for me in the universe or the world, and what are the challenges are there? How I can use my strength to compete with my converting opportunity into the business or in my own life, and how to compete with the challenges. If we perform our own spoke, we definitely able to get the answer of some of the questions. So my dear friends, now we are going to start with the topic how to write case study. So there are certain misconceptions about the case study. Some of them understand case study is a kind of story. Story means a book. Generally, we read for leisure, or maybe a kind of film for entertainment. But my dearest participants, case study is not a story. It is not kind of unseen passage. Unseen passage means there is some paragraph is given, and there are certain questions are given at the end of the paragraph. We are looking the answer of the questions is according to the given paragraph. But my dear friends and participants, it is not a kind of unseen passage. It is not a kind of articles. Like in newspaper, in the magazines, many articles are published. It is, we can say slightly, it is a raw description of situation, but not pure raw description of the situation. It is much beyond this one. Before going to share about the simple meaning of case study, there is a one simple understanding I have written in the slide. A case study is nothing but a research method involving in-depth and detailed examinations which have description of real-life situation concerning an organization's or set of circumstances. I explain in very simple word. Research case study is nothing but a slice of organic reality presented to the participants for discussions. So case study is whenever we write a case study, we would like to connect with the real situations. When we connect with the real situations, then it is possible that the participant will take high involvement. And when we take the high involvement, then the chances are very bright to get a very good suggestions or solutions or recommendations. Before going to case study, I just want to say what is the purpose of case study? Why case study is become very important in education? If I talk about case study, importance of case study, it is give self-education. It helps us in attitudinal change. It is also help to acceptance of theoretical knowledge. Just want to share it. For example, in a science, we have laboratory. In engineering, we have workshops where the students or faculty members able to perform the experiment. But in the management or commerce educations, we don't have workshops or laboratory like in chemistry or in physics or in biology or in engineering it is have. We have to apply the theory, we have to understand the practicality of the concept that our faculty members has taught in the class, and it is only possible to apply the concept in the class through case study, because case study have real time situations in which we would like to understand the real time situations, and whatever the concept that has been shared or read or understand in the class or from the book, we can apply to recommend the solution so that it will be give a best recommendation for the situation given in the case. So my dearest participants, it is very, very important. Even it is not like that the case study is only taught in the management and commerce. It can be taught in engineering also. It can be taught in science also. So the field of the case study is very, very brighter. Even though business people also learn many things from the cases, because there are some cases of success story, there are some cases of failure story. But failure, if we talk about failure or success, both will give certain experience, and this experience helps the businessman or the student to apply if he face same kind of situation in his business or in his life. So we have practicing of the situations in the classroom. That's why the top 100 B schools have given more than 70% importance to the tool like case study. And there is a slide which also talk about the retention of the knowledge. This talk about retention of the knowledge. If we read, we can retain 10% of the knowledge. If we hear, we can retain 26% of the knowledge. If we see, we can retain 30% of the knowledge. If we see and hear like movie, we can retain 50% of the knowledge. But we can apply, we can do by own, then we can retain 90% of the knowledge. So case method of teaching give us platform to apply. That means the concept, whatever we taught in the classrooms, if in the form of case study it is discussed in the classroom, then the student able to retain 90% of the knowledge. That is the importance of case study. It also help for interpersonal acceptance of the, because it is a group discussion where there are number of participants are there. We have to discuss. So we have to discuss, it means we have to accept the solution or recommendation or thought, whatever shared by different participants. So it is an interpersonal acceptance. This kind of quality is also able to develop among the students with the help of case study. So you are getting my point till this slide? If it is yes, write one in the chat box. My dearest participant, if it is clear till this slide, write one in the chat box. If not clear, write 2 in the chat box. I hope my voice is audible. So waiting for the response in the chat box.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Any moment of time, if you face any difficulties, you are welcome to share anything else. Okay, my slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is small caselet I have put up in front of you, and I need your response by unmute the mic so that at least 3 response from your side. There is a Fruity, an Indian-based company, want to launch mango shake in the Malaysian market. The company want to use 100,000 ringgit. 100,000 ringgit in Indian rupees, it is 18.76 lakh or 1.86 million only for launching in Kuala Lumpur. The company target is to sell 50,000 tetra packet in a week after launching. The price of tetra packet is RM 2.0, ringgit, Malaysian ringgit 2.0. Being the CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, suggests the best strategy to fulfill the target. I hope this is a small situation I have put up in front of you for your valuable input. So the forum is open for you. I just minimize the slide so that I able to see your responses also. So anyone would like to unmute yourself and just have a discussions. Fruity is Indian-based company want to launch mango shake in the Malaysian market. The company want to use 100,000 ringgit only for launching in Kuala Lumpur. The company target is to sell 50,000 tetra packet in a week after launching. The price of the tetra packet is ringgit 2 ringgit. Being the CMO, Chief Financial Marketing Officer, suggests the best strategy to fulfill the target. Now expecting the response from my eminent participants. Forum is open for you. Please, anyone would like to share by unmute yourself, or you can raise the hand if you want to share so that it will be helping me. It's an interactive session. Although Sandeep sir and I already spoke initially.
Yes, excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
I want to answer. According to my point of view, the first of all, company worker or company people visit the market, visit the situation, analyze the people's mind and the perception and view of the market. What
Right.
type of the and what type of the strategies or what will be the economical situation at that location. After examining these factors, they will make a strategy and then they launch the advertisement and other relevant factors to show the target of their company.
Right. Thank you, Murtuza sir, for valuable input. Anyone more would like to share? Anyone would like to share? It's an interactive session. More than 50 plus participants are there in the group. Yes, please. I'm waiting for the response. Okay. Yes. Anyone would
I
like to
think,
share?
yes, sir. I think you should get some partners or somebody to liaise with your company so that they can help you to sell the product. And
Right.
they can find out which are the places that sell well. Example, like colleges and things like that. 2 ringgit
Perfect.
is, I think, is very cheap.
Yes.
So you can sell well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for both the response. Perhaps give free samples. Deputy Vice Chancellor sir has also shared. Thank you,
We will
sir.
do the
And sell
SWOT
3 ringgit with a
analysis.
discount with promote. Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor sir. Yeah, all the discussions which what we did is perfectly fine. I'm
I
not saying.
want to add.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. We will do the SWOT analysis, sir.
Yes, perfectly fine. Very good. Thank you very much.
And
So,
then we will set our objectives and then we will proceed.
perfectly. Thank you very much. One more response we received. The research regarding the sustainable competitive advantage should be done. Very good. Fantastic. All have given a very good response. I accept all the response. If I am there as a CMO, what is my response? What I want to do it? I just, what my Vice Chancellor has shared, it is a food product. It is a food product. Yes, the research is very important. It has to be done before launching. I accepted the response which is given by both the participants. Along this one, we would like to, it is a food product and which is people want to purchase if they feel the taste is very good. So we have to give a kind of free samples, as well as we have what the madam had suggested, like schools, colleges, canteens, hospitals, where the fruit juice become very important. So we have just put a small kiosk like a counter outside the schools, colleges, because our target is to sell 50,000 tetra packet in the mall. In the mall also, we would like to keep the tetra packets, and we want to hire some people which give a free sample, and if anyone would like buy 5 tetra packet, 1 tetra packet we can give as a free. So such kind of schemes if we launch, then the possibility of selling the 50,000 packet in a week is very high. So thank you very much for giving a very valuable response. So moving further.
Sir,
Yes,
just
sir.
check your mic. There is a sound coming on, noise coming. Is it
Okay. Now
correct?
it is perfectly fine, sir.
Yes.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
sir.
thank you.
So now moving to a very important part for which we all are here, that is how to write effective case study. I have divided the how to write case study into the 5 phases. First is selection of incident. Second is data collection. Third is structure the case. Fourth is disguise and release. And fifth is presentation. Now I am moving on the first phase, that is selection of incident. My dear participant, whenever you are writing a case, you need some subject, you need some trigger, you need some titles, you need on which area you want to write down the case, that we can term as a incident. When we talk about incident, That means you have to identify. You can write a very, very good case on the market situation. You can write the very good case on anything happen in the society. You can write on the case on child psychology after corona. You can write on the case on like the very famous company of Malaysia, Petronas, which is oil and gas company. How it become successful. What is the story of success of that company? So you can write the case on anyone. So selection of incident means it is like identify the trigger, identify the subject, identify the area on which you want to write the case. The selection of incident is divided into 4 parts: case lead, theme, learner interest, and homework. If we talk about case lead, if we talk about case lead means you want a lead on which you want to start to write the case. Suppose I give my own example. I have written a case study on Reliance Fresh. In 2008, in 2008, in 2007, there was lot of protest against the Reliance Fresh. Reliance Fresh would like to start the grocery business in which he would like to sell grocery, vegetables, fruits. Then the roadside vendor, wholesaler, retailer has protest against the Reliance Fresh. If the big company like Reliance Fresh is come into low profile business, then how our survival is possible? Because the people able to get all vegetable, fruits, groceries at the AC retail outlet, and we are selling at the roadside. He is a big corporate. He able to get the vegetables, fruits, and other things at very low price. So why the customer will come to buy the product from us? So this situation motivate me to write the case. So I written a case on Reliance Fresh. So my dear participant, you also identify such kind of situation, such kind of problems going into the market. That is called case lead. You want to identify the lead, and on this lead you would like to write down the case. Then second one is important is theme. Theme means like on which subject you identify Reliance Fresh, but on Reliance Fresh, on what theme I would like to write the case. I have written the whole case on the theme of business environment, like macro and micro factors which are affecting the Reliance Fresh business. So my theme of case is on business environment. I have written one more case on Tata Nano. In 2008 September, Tata has launched a Nano, which is talk of country, not country, for the world. It is a mini car which is available in 0.1 million price only. 0.1 million price only. In Indian, it is also called Lakh Takiya car, 1 lakh car. The world is very much surprised how it is possible that a company are coming in mind 1 million car. It motivates everyone just to understand the business model. And the person who behind this story is Ratan Tata and Girish Wagh. Girish Wagh is a project leader who has converted the dream of Tata into the reality. This motivates me to write the case on the Tata Nano. And the theme which I choose to write this case is new development product life cycle. How he has started the journey and how it convert the dream into the reality. So my whole case is focused on the new product development process. Now, the learner interest is very, very important. Learner means we all are learners. If you're writing a case without learner interest, it doesn't make an output. The cases are there, but there lakhs of cases are there, but there are many few cases which are very much interesting and the teachers would like to discuss this case every time in his class, because he identify that this case have certain content which definitely helping the student to provide the required learning. It will create the interest of the participant when he is reading the case. So when you're writing a case, his learner interest is very, very important. One more line which I would like to add in the theme. When you're writing a case should have multifocal point. That means it's consisting of a number of major and minor themes which provide a good scope for discussions. If it is not there, then discussion should be done on one single point. But it is always desirable when you are writing a case, it should have multiple focal points on which discussion will be done very promptly. And homework is very, very important, because when you're writing a case, you have to understand that from where I will get the data. What kind of data I require to write down this case? From where it is available? It is available. I have to identify the sources of data, because I already spoke in the initial slide that case should be more towards organic, more towards reality. If it is there, then it is very much possible to connect with the people and create the learner interest to discuss the case in the classrooms. So that is about selection of incident. Now we move on the second phase, that is very important, that we call data collection. Because once we decided the theme, once we decided the case lead on which we would like to write down the case, then the important question that arises is data collections. Because there are different methods, because facts, figures, annexures, information, graph that we would like to put in our case to create the interest of the learner, to provide more deep information to the participant for discussion of the case. So we have to provide certain annexures and data to in the case. The methods which I'm suggesting for data collections is observations, interview, and operating statistics. When we talk of observation, it is most difficult and highly rewarding method for data collection for developing a case lead. So when you are observer, you are I'm using a one word which is critical, but is a kind of management spy. You are observing, but people doesn't know if someone is observing. You don't want to disturb anyone when he is doing a process, but observing, you want to collect the information, what is happening in the society, what is happening in the organization, how the people work in the organizations. So that all observations are very important. It will give a real output, real sense of understanding. And when you get the certain informations by observation, you can convert into written format. And I suggest it is required to be converted daily basis, because some certain vital information you have identified through observation. If you not note it down, maybe possible you lost some of the vital information which you want to write in the case. The second important method is interview.
So, sir, again
yes,
the
sir.
noise coming. Please check.
Okay, now it is clear, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. When we talk about the interview, it is also very, very important technique. Even in my case of Reliance Fish, Tata Nano, Patanjali, TK, POOJARA, and other types of 7 to 8 cases what I have written. I had written a case on the film also. That is Madhur Bhandakar movie, Traffic Signal. So when I would like to collect the data in case of Reliance Fresh, I visited the cold storage, took the interview. I visited the roadside vendors, took the interview. I visited the government official authorities that this protest is going on, how you manage this protest, because the Reliance Fresh is coming into the legal business. So it is not possible the government will take a step to stop doing such business. So I I also visited the Reliance Fresh outlet about the reactions and responses that customer have. I also took the interview from the customers. So that way I had collected the information. And the third, most important, is operating statistics. Operating statistics talk about the secondary data which is available in different sources, like secondary sources, like some kind of online materials which is available, some literature which was published by company, which was published in newspaper, which was published in some magazines, that you can access for writing the case. So it is very, very important. Even in the case of company, you can also put the balance sheets of the company last 3 years, which show the financial performance of the company. So these all are very, very vital tools for writing the case. So that is about data collection. Till this side, it is clear. Expecting the response 3 in the checkbox. Expecting the response 3 in the chat box, or you can also ask the questions if anyone have. It is a discussion as well as understanding is very important. So waiting for the response. Yes, sir.
Sir, suppose there is a case study and we want to collect the data, and your slide showing that by observation, by interviewing, and by operating statistic, we can collect the data.
Yes,
But
sir.
if a situation or if a company or in our case study, data is in the form of documents,
Yes, yes.
in the saved document, then where it be situated in operating statistic?
Yeah, yeah. Very good. It is situated in operating statistics, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Anyone more questions? Okay. So moving further, getting some response. Now, after data collection, the third phase is structure of the case. This is very important slide because here we are going to write down the case. Here we are going to write down the case. When we talk about write down the case, then how to write the case. So it is, there are certain points are given. The first point of discussion is time structure. Time structure is like, I just give you an example. Suppose a particular situation was placed among the participant and we are expecting the response from the participant after reading the case, after discussion of the case. And we have not mentioned the time period when this situation was happened. So, and some of the responses, it is a case of marketing, for example. Some of the responses we are getting from the people like that we have to use digital or social marketing. And this case was written in 1997. At that time, the social media, digital marketing is not popular or not very much available. Then the solution or recommendation given by participant is not correct. So my dearest participant, when you writing the case, the date and time is very much important that you have to mention. When we talk about time structure, that it is a kind of case take place in time, and there must be fair, clearly perception of the part of the student what was the sequence of the event. Like we can say, we can understand this in very simple word. It is like a film where a good film director only may manage through flashback. It will he show early origins and of the situations and then build up the stories. So the time structure is very, very important. It show the flow of the case. Like when we watching a certain movie and if flow is disturbed, then we cannot find entertaining the movie. We may be out, and if you are watching the movie on televisions, we switch off the television. So such kind of things is possible. So the time structure, narration of the time structure through the time structure is very, very important. The second point in the structure of the case is narrative structure. This narrative structure is talking about The basic purpose of narrative structure is to present the event that took place and the circumstances of their happening narrated in some kind of pattern. When they began, what lead to what, and so on. In simple words, or in other words, what I want to say, there is a flow of story as to generate and sustain the reader interest. Like narration is going on, it should not be in the part of the story. If it is a film which have 18 reels, 19 reels, 20 reels, the person who are watching the movie will consider as a one movie, not 18 reel movie, 18 parts. So if it is in the parts, there is no logical and lucid projected among the different substructure, sub paragraph that you mention in the case, then the interest and the logical thinking of the participant will vanish and it does not solve the purpose. So when you're writing a narration, it is very important that all the subparts in the case are logically connected. When we talk about the third point, that is expository structure, this expository structures talk about like the participation of the case writer and reader bound to differ. But what really the case writer want the people understand the situation and apply the thought to solve the situations. That both will come on synergy. That will play a role of expository structure. In order to establish a common framework of reference in the case should really expose of situation represented in the case, organizations, context and the climate, having relevant background features like culture, technological, environmental. So these are very, very important. So till the time, I hope it is clear to everyone. If anyone have any doubt, can ask the question by unmute yourself. Okay, so there is no question. It means I feel the things are properly understandable. When we talk about prod, it's the original form. When we write a case, it must have an issue. It must have an issue. It should not be like a blind narration of the situations. It should not be like a blind narration of the situation. It must be built around certain issue, certain theme, and generate thought and interest. Example, it have some conflict, it have some profitable issue, it have certain distributor issues, it have some competition issues, it may have decision issues, it may have cooperation, coordination issue. Certain kind of issues are very, very important. It has to be there in the cases. Otherwise, what the participant do in the case? For them, it becomes simple article which does not have a point of discussions. So it is very, very important whenever you're writing a case, issue. And the issues which you depicted in the case, I recommend personally, please don't ask the issue in the form of questions. Please don't ask the issues in the form of question. It is expected that the readers will identify the issues in the case through the narrations which is written in the form of case. And then once he identify, accordingly, he will discuss the issue in the case. So this is very, very important. I hope it is clear. Now, the next point is cutoff point. As every story has beginning and every story has an end, you have to identify. It is not like that you are writing a book on one case. It may be 5 page, 7 page, 10 page, 15 page, depend on the kind of information, kind of issue that you perfectly would like to identify and depict it in the form of case to the participant. So when you started, you have to be end point, cutoff point. So this cutoff point will be decided by the case writer. This is a situation till the time we have completed all requirement which is desirable in the case. And the next point is the title. I already shared a case is nothing but a slice of organic reality presented for the discussion, where a host of aspects are expected to discuss. It would be incorrect or give the case a leading title that suggests only one angle of discussions. If title is like the food quality of the canteen, so it is talk about the quality of the food in the canteen. So it is talk about one aspect of the case. When I talk about my own case, the title which I have given in my case of Reliance, Reliance Fresh, will this wave embrace the town? Another case which I have written on the Nano, Tata Nano car. The car, the title which I have given is Nano Magic. Will the dream of middle class will true? So such kind of titles when you give, where you would like to highlight the different issue, and from the title it should not give a direction on one single handed. It will be not become multifocal case. So it is always suggested the title should be right in a such a way which not give only one direction but open and also create the interest of the reader to read the case. If your title is not good, then like when you want to buy some book from the market, we also see the titles. From the titles, we understand that this book is good for me. Then we also want to access the abstract. We also want to access some pages, and from which we understand, yes, this book is very important. It contains a vital knowledge. I would like to buy these books for my understanding, for my knowledge. So the title is very, very important. And in this slide, the last part is write up. It is neither possible and not desirable to develop each structure separately. Suppose there are two authors, three authors. When you are sitting, even I know I had written a lot of cases as a co-author. So when we are writing a case, we both will sit together. First, create a framework of whole case, and then once we create a framework, accordingly we start collecting the data and then start writing the case. It is not like that we write at different sub parts and then we superimpose, but we will write in continuous sense and write in a logical order, so that the case should be drafted in one shot. And it is always desirable if once the case you have written completely, it has to be read at least 4 to 5 times. Even though I just recommend it, it is in the last slide, but I recommend it here. When you have completely written the case, then you can give some expert to read the case, maybe 2, 3, 4 experts, whether they able to understand the case or not. Second, and very important, like Dr. Sandeep has told initially, when you are writing a case and if you want to publish in a very good journal, they also want that you will test the case before submission. They also want the report and response of the students, that you have discussed the case in the classroom, what is the response of the student. So once you write the case, you become one of the participant. I don't want that you become the moderator of the case. I want, as a case writer, you become the one of the... Yes, please.
So can you give some examples of the titles, please?
I have given the two examples. I just repeat again the example. The one case which I had written is on Tata Nano. The title which I has given for my own case is Nano Magic. Will the dream come true? Another case which I have written on the Reliance Fresh. The title I have given is Fresh Revolution. Will this wave embrace the town? So, is it clear, ma'am?
Thank you.
Thank you. So then I'm giving them an example. Suppose you have written a case and you want to publish this case in very good eminent journal. So before submitting, I'm recommending to you, please discuss this case in the classroom and you will play the role as a participant. And your teacher, your colleague will be moderator. Then the moderator will discuss this in the classroom. Then you understand if what you really want, that situation will have to be discussed in the classroom. Whether such kind of situations are happening are discussed in the classroom, the issues that we want to emerge out during the discussions, that issues has been emerged out or not. The way the kind of discussion is going on, the discussion is going in the way what you really want when this case discussed in the classroom. So it is very important to test the case before actually submitting the case in very, very good journal. And it is required. There are many eminent scopus journals which also expected about whether this case has been discussed in the classroom or not. So this is very important. I hope it is clear. Anyone have any questions?
Excuse me, sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, in this slide, one thing was prot.
Yes.
P-R-T. What is prot?
The prot is talking about the originality of the case. Suppose you are writing a case and you have written a case which does not have any situation, which does not talk about originality of the case, then it is a simple narration kind of article and it does not highlight any issues. Then what is the reader? What is the role of the reader? Reader does not able to do anything. For him, it is a one kind of article, one kind of story. So prot means you have to write the issues in the case. And these issues which you want to depict in the case, it should not in the form of questions. It is in the form of narrations where the readers would like to read the case 2 times, 3 times and able to identify the issues that is depicted in the case. That is called prot. Prot
Yes, sir,
means
thank
original
you.
form.
Yes, sir. But I searched in the Google, but Google shows the spelling mistake.
Okay.
I searched it on prot.
It is a small form, sir. P-R-O-T, prot. Okay. So this prot means original form. Okay. This is spelling is correct. It's a one is original form. Okay. Shall I move further, sir?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Now the next part, and which is very important, is disguise and release. Where disguise means in order to maintain the objectivity during discussions, it is desirable to discuss the setting including the characters. When you are having a movie, in the movie there is a disclaimer that whatever the things showing in the movie is not taken for this purpose. So these discussions, this disguise also help to avoid the raising the sentiments and the distributing and not hammering the prestige of any of the character which you depicted in the case. So it is always be essential that disclaimer is very, very important. If you're writing a case on real life situation and if you found if you use the same name which is happening in the society, which is related to some industry, it will affect the sentiments of particular character or affect the prestige of the particular character. So I recommend you just change the name of the character. But I also recommend changing a name is important. But similarly, the character, when you rename, should maintain their sex, age, regional, culture, context near to the original as possible as, because it will give a rigor of originality. Otherwise, if you change the situation, if you change the gender, if you change the cultural, then the originality what you want to depict it in the case is missing. So just want to maintain the sentiments of the character or the prestige of the character. Yes, it is always recommended to change the name. And you also need a permission from the authority to release the case, because if you're writing a case on particular industry, if you're writing a case on particular society, if it affect to the society once this document released into the market, then it will affect to your own personality. So before releasing the case, if it is related to originality on whom you have written the case, it is always desirable, please take the permission in the written format. This will help you to release the case very comfortably. Now, the last part of the slide, how to write the case. There are two ways of writing the case. One, I have right now sharing it. This is the last slide of the one way of writing the case. Another way also I will share in just next slide. When we talk about presentation of the whole case, so this contain these 4 points: the case itself, appendix which contain table, chart, balance sheet, form, map, other informations, journal notes which contain detail of organization, operating environment, which you are unfamiliar, technical notes like certain kind of concept which you have mentioned where the reader or partner doesn't know. So you can provide the details of that content. So in the form of notes, so that by reading the notes, he able to understand the technicality part of the formula or certain techniques or certain point that you mention which is very new, or certain concept that you mention which is very new for the readers. It has to be of detailing so that by reading these technical notes, he able to understand the concept. And case note is very, very important, and it is very much desirable. Again, I repeating the sentence. It is very much desirable for all eminent generals because it will give a guide to the faculty members how to deal the case in the classrooms. What are the issues are there? In the case note, it is generally available for the faculty members. Faculty members will read the case note, and after reading it, he can understand what kind of situations is in the cases, or what situation has to be highlighted during the discussions. Okay, what are important points that has to be asked in the form of questions. All such kind of information you have to be write in the case note. Certain concept which I have slightly suggested in the technical note is some more contents are there which are required to understand the moderators or faculty members. That content you can also be write in the case note. Till the time it is clear. So this is the first part of the case, how to write. I have clear. I just make a minimize. If it is clear, expecting the 5 in the chat box. If it is clear, write 5 in the chat box, please, so that I move further.
Yes, sir. I have a question.
Yes, sir. Please.
Sir, is it important to write the literature review and introduction in the case study?
Sir, when we are writing an original case, this is a draft which we want that student will discuss in the classroom. In this, it is not required. But in the case note, it is important because not literature review, what we doing in the research paper, that is not required. The literature review is only for you to write the case. But the kind of literature from which you have collected the information, that is not required to write in the case, sir. Is it clear, sir?
Case, sir, actually, is also a form of qualitative research. If we want to write a research paper, then it is necessary to write a literature review and introduction.
Yes. When you are writing a research paper, a qualitative research paper, in which what you are suggesting it is absolutely right. But when we are writing a case, it is like the learning tool for the students. And whatever the other information that would like has to require to give the moderator, has we have written in the technical notes or in the case notes, which helping us. So when we are writing a case, it is not at all required. You have to write an introduction, then literature review, then research methodology. It is not required when you are writing a case. But you are writing a qualitative research paper. Yes, your answer is absolutely correct, sir. Is it clear now, sir? Thank you.
Yes,
so few responses I received. So thank you very much. Now moving the last part of the discussion, that is case difficulty cube. This basically cube helping us what kind of difficulty that you want to keep in the case. What kind of difficulty that you want to keep in the case. Because sometimes when you are writing a case, there should be some communication difference in the technique which I have suggested right now. But through case difficulty cube, we are also talk about what kind of dimension we would like to keep in our case, so that the case will be very good for discussions. The case difficulty cube is talking about 3 dimensions. One is called analytical dimension, which is on x-axis. That is called conceptual dimension, which is shown on y-axis. There is a third dimension, which is called presentation dimension, which is showing on the z-axis. When we talk about the first dimension, analytical dimension talk about what kind of analysis you want the reader will do in the case. Again, I repeating the sentence. Analytical dimension will talk about what kind of analysis you want that the participant will do in the case. That is called that you want to keep in analytical dimension. There will be a 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree. If we talk about the first degree of analytical dimension, so I can say like this one, here is a problem and here is a solution. Like mathematical questions, like numerical questions, in which the question is given, certain formula is applied, and we will get certain answer. This is the simplest way of analytical dimension you put up in the case. This is termed as a single degree. But if you want, here is a problem, there is a reasonable solution are there. This is called second degree of difficulties. If we go with the third degree of difficulty, then we can say here is a situation, what are the solutions, where you want to do a highest level of analytical difficulties, where he has to apply his mindset, and it is not possible that by just at a glance he able to recommend the certain solutions or certain recommendations. So what kind of difficulties that you want to impose in the case, it is also very important, because if case have multifocal points, multiple points, and it is also the relevant data is given in the case in the form of annexures, then the scope of the case become very wider. Then your case will be used, again I am saying this, repeating the sentence, your case will be used at multiple domain. So it become the one of the very important case in the education or other purpose. So what kind of difficulty we want to put in the case is very important. The second one is conceptual dimension, which is depicted in x-axis. It is also conceptual dimension, what kind of concept that you want that after reading or after solving this case, this concept will be clear to the participants, and what kind of difficulties you want to impose to understand the conceptual dimension. If it is a 1 degree, simple 1 degree, then the reader will read the case and understand it. It is a 2nd degree, the reader cannot able to understand by its own, but he need a class discussion with the participants, and then by discussion all the participants able to understand the concept. If it is 3rd degree, in that case the participants need some moderator which help us to understand the case in the form of faculty. This is a 3rd level of degree of difficulties in terms of concept you want to put up. If it is a presentation dimensions, in this case also we have put 1 degree difficulties, 2nd degree difficulties, or 3rd degree difficulties. If we talk about 1st degree difficulty in presentation dimension, that means we put little extraneous data. Extraneous means external data. If it does not have much annexures, if it does not have much external data, so it is easy for the respondent to there. But it is a moderate extraneous data, so it have 2nd level of degree, but it have large amount of extraneous data. It is the 3rd degree of the presentation dimensions. So a simplest case is a 1:1:1 dimension, which is very shorter one, which is very easy. It can be used for UG level students, so it will be easy for UG student to create the interest, and gradually student can understand the concept and the things very easily. And if it is going for PG level, it may be 3 by 3 by 3, that is 27 sub cubes. It have high difficulty. It is a long case. Okay, lot of concept and theories has to be understood before solving the case. It have lot of extraneous data which has to be read, which has to be identified if it is not given in the annexures, so that it also gives some vital information. There are many analytical tools that you to apply before recommending the final solutions. So kind of difficulty what you want to present, it is also possible. It is clear to everyone? Any questions to anyone in this slide? Last 3 slides are pending for the completing the sessions. Any difficulties or any questions to anyone? Okay, thank you. Now moving on the first, which is what are the do's and don'ts with the case. What are the do's and don'ts with the case? If we talk about do's, then ask yourself, why am I writing this case? That is, what is the teaching value of this case? What do I want trainee to learn from this case? What do I want trainees to learn from this case? Will it make people think? Organize your materials and prepare outline of the case. That is what do's, what you have to require to perform. Note all known facts. Schedule your time. Use simple language and plain words. It is not an English test where you are using a glittering words, which is difficult to understand the common people. Keep the focus and link the ideas. Schedule a time gap between the drafting, editing the stage, at least fortnight. At least if we are writing a very good case, it requires 6 to 8 months. At least requires 6 to 8 months. It's not possible you can draft the whole case in a fortnight. But when you're writing a simple case of 1, 1, 1, then it is possible that in fortnight, in 1 month, you're able to complete the case. Depend on how much time in a day you are also giving, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, 7 hours, then it is possible that you can write a case in the fortnight or in 1 month. What don'ts you have to put, it is very, very important. Don't inject your values or opinion in the case. It is very important. It should not be biased. You cannot put your views when you write in the case. So it has to be right very, very, very effective way. One important sentence I want to again share with you. When you're writing the case, you please write in the past tense. Again repeating, when you're writing the case, please write in the past tense. It generates more life to the case. It will give more life to the case. So it is always recommended to write the case in the past tense. Don't write in praise of yourself, and don't provide the solution. So these are the general suggestions when you are writing the case. And the last part before ending is the case plan. Like when any movie starts, the beginning is very, very important. It will create the interest of the audience. An opening paragraph is nothing but the length of the case. It's the length of the case. And it is generally recommended when you're writing the opening case, it should be of 60 words, or this paragraph is of 60 words, or maybe 6 or 7 sentences, so that it will create the interest of the audience. Whatever the characters that you want to imbibe in the whole case, if it is possible, you can also open up the character in the first paragraph. When you are going to watching a movie, in the first half an hour, whatever the major characters in the movie will be come and start playing their role, and you can understand what character playing which role. So in the similar way, the opening paragraph is very, very important. Whatever the sub paragraph that you are given in the case, it should have subtitles, so that it will be easy. Like when we are reading a books, when you're reading a textbooks, all the textbooks have paragraphs divided into chapters. Chapters are divided into different paragraphs, and every paragraph have subtitles. That's why it is easy to understand what is in this paragraph. So in the similar way, when you're writing the case, it is very important to put subtitles in the case. And whatever the data requirement you have, when you write, like in the form of annexures, when you are narrating the case, at that time, you also, these narrations in order to understand the narration very clearly, you have to refer this annexure number 1, annexure number 5, annexure number 15 that you mention in the narrations. Because once the readers are reading the case, at that time he require certain reference for clarity of some extraneous data. Extraneous means external data, so he can refer to the annexure and understand the narration clearly and propose the schedule of activity, like what kind of information you want to collect, till what duration you are able to collect all the informations. Then when you start writing the case, once you writing the first draft, then you itself check the draft at least 4 to 5 times. Once you check the draft 4 to 5 times, after that you can give this draft to the expert. Maybe sometime required, you can also take the help of language teacher, so just to check the language of your case. Once it is drafted, once the expert has said it is perfectly fine, it is very good, then you can also go in the classrooms for discussion of the case. So you can get the real input, whatever the issues that you want to highlight it has been highlighted in the case during discussion. So now this case is ready for submissions to publish in very good general. So this is from my side. So any questions? Now the forum is open for you. If it is clear, write 7 in the chat box, please.
Yes, sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir, please.
As we know that case study is a form of qualitative study, and if we
Sir,
want to
please speak
analyze
louder.
the
Because, sorry, sir, please speak louder because there is some noise coming in my room. So that's why I'm not able to hear your voice properly.
sir, actually we know that case study is a quantitative study, and we want to analyze the data. So for this purpose, my question is that for this purpose, we can use some qualitative analysis software like NVivo or Deduce. Is there these software are helpful in dealing the case study?
Perfectly, perfectly, 100%, sir. Even though many of my students are using a lot of software, even we are permitted students to use a laptop during the case. So when the students are solving the case, at that time we definitely permit our participant to use the different software, which helping us to ultimate object. What is our objective? Ultimate objective is whatever the concept that we would like to taught in the classroom, our student and participant understand the concept. Once they understand the concept, they want to apply. Whether they go on piece of paper or through the software, it doesn't make any change, because in the today world, technology is very important. So everybody want to be perform the work very fast. So if they are using a technology, that is perfectly permitted, sir. I hope you will get
Another
the answer of your
question
question.
is, okay, uh, what will be the result that case study
Sorry,
shows?
sir. Please speak louder because again, because of some noise, I cannot hear to your voice.
What type of the results that case study showing in the form of graph, chart, or in any other form?
Uh, like when we are writing a case, the all everything is permitted, sir. In my Reliance Freeze case, I put a 27 annexures, sir. 27 annexures. It is a case of 42 page. The original content is of 27. Sorry, 17 page, and the remaining rest is the annexures only. So it depends on the type of information that you want to keep in the case, either in the form of the graph, either in form of some small literature. So certain terms are there, some technical terms that you have used in the case, which is difficult to understand the participant. You can also put in the annexure in the form of narrations. That is also possible. The graph, chart, narration, literature, some table data, everything is everything. Whatever you feel is very important for the participant. That all such information you can put up in the case.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, sir.
Anyone have any questions, sir? I am privileged if anyone question, if everything is clear. So request to write 7 in the chat box. Please expect a 7 in the chat box. So I feel all the content which I delivered till 1 hour 16 minutes is clear to everyone? Okay, some responses are
Thank you,
received.
sir.
Thank you. This is from my side. So thank you very much to all of you for your valuable time. One question is asked by one. What is the role of moderator? The role of moderator is very important. If I am a faculty member, I have to ignite the issue in the classroom. I have to create a situation where it's a kind of discussions. Suppose, for example, case is given to the students for discussion. It is always desirable that you will give the case that you want to discuss in the class 1 day before, 2 days before, 3 days before to the students, and just request them to read the case at least 2 times, 3 times before coming to the class. Once they come in the class, then you can use the PPT or the smart board or the whiteboard where you can ask the discussions. Okay, what is in this case? What you really want in the case? What you find out the issue in the case? Because being a moderator, you can also divide the whole class into the different groups, maybe 4 or 5 students, and every students you can define certain character. Whatever the characters are given in the case, it is a beautiful way to discuss in the classroom. You can assign certain character to the group. They will play a particular role. They will discuss on this particular role, and then the discussion you can begin as a moderator. And in the end, you have a role is if the discussion is going in the wrong directions, wrong issues, then you have to moderate. You have to play a role so that it will go in the line what you really want to be discussed in the classroom. So that is a very important role of the moderator. I hope you will get the answer, sir. Okay, I will share the link to the Dr. Sandeep sir for my case. So he will circulate the link to the all participants. I will put both the case. Currently, it is not in the system. So, but I will give to Sandeep Poddar sir. Sandeep Poddar sir will do needful. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So, Sandeep sir, this is from my side. Thank you very much for providing this opportunity to discuss with more than 50 participants. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your vivid presentation. I just want to share my screen and just to tell that not only to give the certificate of appreciation to you, kindly accept, sir, from the Lincoln University College. I'm proud privileged to share the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Vishal Khasgiwala, Dean, Faculty of Business Commerce in Atmiya University, Gujarat. Thank you, sir, for your kind presentation and valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So shall I leave the meeting, sir?
Just to highlight also that as you know that Lincoln University College is associated with publications. We have journals, Asia Pacific Journal of Management Technology, published from our new campus in what we call it in Australia. And we have International Journal of Business and Tourism that is published from Lincoln University College, and it is also indexed in my site, Ministry of Education, and Index Copernicus. We have International Journal of Management and Human Science, also published from Lincoln University College. We have Malaysian Journal of Medical Research, and also we have Malaysian Journal of Nursing. So all these journals are published from Lincoln University College. And for the participant, as I told, that case studies is very important. And nowadays, the video is coming up for journal publication as a case study. You can see this Jove journal for video case studies. And some of the journals, as you asking that how many pages or how many reference, there are limitations. Like in some journals in health science, they accept only 6 reference in the case study. So like that, you have to check with the journal and which article you are going to publish and which journal is fitted for that scope, means journal scope you have to check. Accordingly, you have to present your topic in that journal. Suppose you have video presentation to show as a case study, then you have to choose this journal. And then you have to check other articles published in this journal on this aspect. Then only you can make your idea, okay, this is like they want 2-minute video or 5-minute video. Accordingly, you have to make like that. If suppose one literature journal asking for 6 reference, you cannot provide 60 reference. So we have to minimize it within 6 if we choose that journal. So accordingly, we follow our system for the publishing, and we must discuss and explore the journal's need. So without wasting much time, thank you, and all the participants kindly fill the link so that you can get e-certificate in this group. Thank you once again, sir, from all of us, and we will give in touch. And next meeting will be in 7th April, and also 4th, what you call it, in say 6th April and 13th April. I will circulate in future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So now I'm leaving the meeting, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you so much.